This year is entitled Reflections on the Elections 2019. Unfortunately, I think I have to specify which elections in 2019 because it's the second time we're going about this here, and that's a tragedy that we're stuck and we're paralyzed and we cannot come to clarity. On the other hand, I guess it's a bracha that Baruch Hashem, these are our problems. 80 years ago in Europe and Germany, this was not our problem. So we have a democracy, a country. We could determine our fate to some degree with Hashem's help. And we were in a deadlock half a year ago, and it might be that we're going to have another deadlock today. Who knows? Who knows? So it's a little bittersweet, this whole experience. It's billions and billions of shekels to the economy, and it's a big toll. And are we going to have any different results than half a year ago? Hard to know. But still, I'd like to make a few points over here. Make a few points. We are always masters, all of you, all of mankind, not just the Jews. Everyone, we're masters of pointing fingers, and as the expression goes, when you point one finger away, you have three more fingers pointing back at you. And I wonder if the turmoil in the country and the challenges in the country, many of them have nothing to do with Am Yisrael. The fact that we exist and that we breathe, we have billions of people around the world that just cannot survive and be happy and have satisfaction in life to see that we return to our homeland. We're growing and we're surviving, we're thriving in the most powerful army in the Mideast, eighth most powerful country in the world, not per capita, objective figures, military, agricultural, economic figures. It's not normal. So that is disturbing, to say the least, to billions of people around the world, represented by, of course, the UN, Yamach Shemam. And that's part of our problem. Nothing to do with us. Still, when we go ahead and we have signs all over the country, placards all over the countries, Medina without halacha, Medina Chilonit, and I'm not going to budge on the draft law at all. So this antagonism against Judaism, against Torah Judaism, or certain forms of Torah Judaism. So we can go ahead and just say, yeah, you see how the Chilonim hate us. And they just want to uproot Torah Judaism. And that's their only goal. And I told you so already in the 1800s, once the Chilonim were coming here. Their whole goal is to uproot. And the Teimanim, they uprooted the Payas, and the kibbutz. The kibbutzim movement, they just tried to bring all the from people to kibbutzim, Shemei Tza'ir, make them not from. I told you from day one that was their goal, and you see I'm proving it now. You have millions of dollars on billboards across the country. Medina lo kalacha. Medina won't be according to halacha. Medina chilonit. And you see Gantz and you see Lieberman. And this is what the people might vote in. You see the people hate Torah Judaism. That's one way to look at it, and that's going ahead and taking the finger and pointing it away. And the question is, maybe, is there ever a possibility that we as religious Jews, when I say we, I mean all groups of religious Jews, everyone should be looking back. 70 years of creating the Medina over here, of developing it, and everyone should do some soul searching. How did this happen? How did this happen? It says in the Psukim, it says Venas Chanan, that the Goyim are going to say, the Goyim are going to say what a wise nation this is when they see how we're acting. The Gemara Brachos criticizes Gentiles where no one converted from that town, even though they were right near a Jewish town. How do they not see the beauty of Judaism and convert? So we have to all ask ourselves from all this Ramim here, what's going on? It's very easy to point fingers to Lieberman, that he has big signs, Medina not going to Gantz, Chilonim Medina. It's very easy to blame them, all rotten Zionists from the core. That's all they ever want to do. Open Torah Judaism, make a secular state, and Herzl and this and that. Easy to blame. But I wonder if someone, all of us in the frum world, should take a look and say, look at my world, what's going on? So the Haredi world, people have to look and say, wait a second. We set up a world where, in terms of the involvement in the workforce, the military force, is it so posh that should be, the mass movement should be full-time learning. That should be the goal. Are there changes in that world? Are there enough changes in the world? What are the statistics? What was the history of Am Yisrael for 3,300 years? Was this the history of Am Yisrael? Put everyone into full-time learning, that's the goal. Without professional training. Those are questions that should be asked now. So we could go and fight and claim everyone is just anti-Semitic. We could say, well, let's look into this. Let's look into this. Where the government is going ahead, tax money is going to this way, that way, so what goes to sports, so let it go to the coal out. Maybe it should be looked into. The Chilonim world over the years, did we put so much kochos? Did the Chilonim put so much kochos into the complete Israel, complete Israel? And some of the best and brightest would go out to different areas around the country, away from the main part of the Arabs, away from the cities, and pour the kochos into settling the land, which is noble. Just like learning Torah full time is noble. These are all noble activities, learning Torah, settling the land. But all the groups have to look at, were we hyper-focused on any specific mitzvah, which caused a damage to the focus on the rest of the Torah, and damaged how people perceive Torah Jews? The question needs to be asked. Because there's 613 mitzvahs. Unfortunately, many don't apply today. We don't have the Mikdash. That's a whole nother discussion. We don't have the Mikdash, what we should do about it. That's not for now. So we don't have the Mikdash. We have a few hundred mitzvahs. And do we give attention to all the mitzvahs properly? Give each one the respect it deserves? Or do we get hyper-focused on certain mitzvot? And that's it. Like, I'm going to be hyper-focused on learning Torah, and that's it. Everything else is just, some are going to work out. I'm going to make sure that we're going to be learning full-time, and everything else, no matter what, that's it. I'm going to focus on the Shlema, the complete everything, and that's it. But do we have a certain healthy, balanced outlook when we see the full picture? So on election day, number 2, 2019, I think there's some good questions for every religious Jew to ask. And I would hold off with that finger, and I'd take into account the other fingers. Do some introspection. In terms of who to vote for, sorry, I'm not giving you any advice on that one. That's another discussion. I would just focus on another point to now. Shalom. May we hear B'surot Tovot, whatever they may be. Shalom.